Hello, I'm Sue. Thank you for being with me. Welcome to Fireside Chat. And today we're going to be talking a little bit about insurance. So, I wanted to talk about how have insurance companies changed. So, insurance companies have undergone some major changes over the years. One of them is consolidation. There used to be many more small regional insurance companies in the past, but mergers and acquisitions over time have led to consolidation into a smaller number of really large national carriers. The use of technology has also really shaped the insurance industry greatly. Insurers now rely heavily on technology for everything from underwriting to claims processing. Of course, there's always an adjuster, an underwriter who actually does the work and makes decisions, but there's so much data that they get from their data points from their looking at customers' information and profiles and details about accidents and losses and things like that that they use to inform decisions about how much premium to charge, but also how much a car is worth, how to indemnify or make whole someone who has had a loss to their house because of water damage or because of a hurricane. It's very sophisticated computer models. And of course, people like actuaries and underwriters gleaning and analysis um, of the statistical data points and of what is happening on the ground. What are actually people dealing with? It's really hard to see people lose so much in natural disasters. And so insurance companies try to be the first one on site with supplies and help. And some insurance companies I've seen, they set up like a mobile RV office where people in a devastated area can come and access their policies and get money out and things like that because they don't have anything. You know, if you lose everything you have, it's so hard to just begin to know what to do because you're kind of used to having all of your stuff. You know, you go home and you know where your files are and your credit cards are and your birth certificates and all kinds of documentation. And if it's gone, then you need help to try to piece that back together. And it's a very long, hard process. Anybody who's ever had identity theft, it could take months or years to get everything back to the way it was, and to stop being compromised by people who are bad actors. So insurance companies have data analytics that help price policies and manage risk. Um, Online platforms, like all of the big companies have like .com websites, and they have mobile apps that you can use your phone to start a claim or to pay your next payment or to check something, your driving record, or um, just give you the answer questions you might have about your policy. So, paperless sales and service has come about with people being able to do a great deal of transactions on websites and in mobile apps. I think all of the large carriers have very good technology and really try to make it easy for people to access their policies and answer questions that they might have and make changes like address changes, or they can change maybe who's a car that they're not using, they can put it into storage or take it out. Um, Insurance companies have greatly expanded their offerings. So there's a much wider range of products beyond just property and casualty policies. So it isn't just auto and home. It could be, um, say, a business that has 3 partners, and each one of those partners is really crucial for the success of the business. So those partners, they can buy what's called key person insurance, and it's like partner A, B, and C are insuring kind of each other's lives. So, say A and B would insure C if something happened to C. Um, B and C would insure A. And so the beneficiaries, if one of the partners died, would have a payout, and that amount would help the business uh, to continue running, because sometimes a key person, if it's one person who does all the sales, and if something happened to them, the business would not even survive. It's really good to insure your chief important people, key people, so that if something happens, that they get a payout, and then they can use that money to buy them time until they can hire someone else, or they could buy out that person from the business, their estate. And so there's many uses of business insurance. So insurance companies don't just sell insurance anymore. A lot of insurance companies have diversified into financial products, like annuities, investments, and retirement plans. It's really nice to keep all of your business with one company if that's possible, because then you're just kind of paying, like, in a sense, one set of fees and dealing with one, perhaps one agent who really knows your situation and takes really good care of you through the years. Direct to consumer sales, um, often, like, a large company can just have people sign up online for a policy. I know, like, Medicare.gov allows people who are becoming eligible to put their information into the website. It's pretty easy to use. And then you can have Medicare.gov come up with different choices amongst different companies, different plans, and you can sort and filter, and you can compare them side by side. You can look at what star rating they have, that the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid will do an independent ranking of what star rating plans have. And that is important, because if a company gets a 5-star plan rating, then that plan, you can pretty much be assured that if you get that plan yourself, that you're going to get really good service, that it's going to have really good benefits, that it's priced well, or maybe it's even $0. And you can rest assured that that's one of the best products, or maybe the best product in that sector. So, yeah, so consumers can actually shop themselves. You don't always have to find an agent. You don't always have to go through someone else. You can just go on your computer and put in your details. You could also put in, if you have a current an auto insurance policy, you can put in the details and compare it with another company and see, like, are you really getting the best price? Um, the one thing that I think is really important is to only do comparisons that are apples to apples. So you'd want to make sure that what your deductibles are would be the very same deductibles that you'd be looking at in a comparison policy. You have to put in everything the same: the address, the information on the car, the VIN, the mileage, all of those different things that you're filling in. You'd want them to be the same as what you're comparing with, because then when you get a premium amount, you can know that, okay, this is exactly like my coverage, but it's a different company. So, it's a good idea to see if you can get a better price than what you have, right? Some insurance companies, they do actually reward loyalty. So if you have been with a company for a couple of years or many years, you can actually have a discount. I've seen a little bit of a discount for loyalty, and that's a really wonderful thing because you have to be insured. In a lot of states, you have to have car insurance if you drive a car. So it's since you're paying for it anyway, you might as well be rewarded in as many ways as you can, right? Social media marketing has really lent a huge boost to making insurance very user friendly in that sense. Insurers that are really big and also just small, insurance agencies just around the corner from your home. They still they use social media to advertise, to educate, to interest, provide customer service, and communicate with consumers. This was almost non existent 10 to 15 years ago. So, independent agents definitely play a role in distributing insurance and taking care of people. And it's really good to have an agent because they understand insurance, they've been licensed, they do ongoing testing, and they have to keep up with continuing education and ethics. So if you have a sales agent or a broker, then you can actually ask them questions and you can have them do a review like every 6 months or as often as you'd like. You can have someone compare policies for you. Um, a broker would be able to compare policies from different companies because they would be like appointed with more than one carrier. So if you want to see what other companies can offer you, definitely it's great if you have an insurance broker, and that way they just give you what the best product is for your needs, and not just because they sell one brand, that's the only thing they can offer you. So insurers can communicate with you through their mobile apps, through their websites. You can call them, you can send them faxes still, you can receive emails, you can email them, ask them questions, ask for an update, make changes. So it's really easy to communicate now. Of course, a lot of people are comfortable buying insurance over the phone. I would say Medicare and auto insurance, they're great to be able to have a conversation, answer someone's questions, and educate them on the phone. You can, of course, also buy insurance products or financial products in a Zoom meeting, in a virtual setting, or, of course, in person, depending on what your agent or agency makes available to you. When I was selling Medicare, I was happy to go out and sit with seniors and some people who are disabled who've been getting benefits for more than 2 years, maybe eligible for Medicare automatically. And so I would go to, um, I guess you could call them enrollees, people who want to enroll in Medicare. I would go to their homes if they needed me to because some people don't have computers. Some people I worked with didn't have email. And so you can't just say, go to my website or my company has a mobile app if they haven't got a smartphone, if they don't have email, if they don't have a computer. Um, it's important that we have compassion, I think, and flexibility in meeting people where they want to be met, and for being flexible and understanding. Also, for taking the time to explain insurance terms and what different things mean, like repercussions of doing this deductible or that deductible, because it's really important that the person understands their policy because they could call and they could say, I had a flood in my basement and I don't know what's covered. And if they don't have like a kind of a water damage type clause or endorsement, that kind of thing, depending on the policy, I'm just speaking in general terms, um, it may or may not be covered. So it's really important that like a homeowner understands what conditions um, would be covered, what situations that they would be protected from horrible things happening. It's really good to know, in a sense, what you have in insurance. Usage-based options are if you work at home, you can find out if your auto insurance has remote work or pay as you go, um, or like a low mileage policy where you're just paying for having a very minimal need for car insurance because you might be home 25 days out of 30, kind of thing. And so it's really good to know what's available to you and to find out what companies do offer those kinds of usage based insurance policies. So, telematics, that's what is like the gathering of data points by insurance companies. So, I know of a couple companies that you have an app in your phone, you give them your email, and all the drivers in that home would have their own email and their own mobile number. And so when each driver drives the car, that telematics, which is really information about driving behavior, is collected by a company in order to give you discounts if you've done really well and had been driving really safely. I think it's a great thing to do to have the telematics program if you have new drivers in your household because the telematics can sense in some states if you're on the phone, if you are braking really hard, if you're speeding. I know that there's a company that if you go over 80 miles an hour, that kind of dings you in a sense in your kind of driving history. So yeah, speeding, hard braking, um, and like sometimes phone use. Um, those are kinds of things that the telematics is collecting information on. So if you're a really safe driver and you haven't had any loss experience, if you haven't had any accidents or tickets, um, then that could actually make your rates better because you have some control over the way that you drive. Um, and, you can control your speed most of the time. You can control braking some of the time. You can control just how, if you're not using your phone ever while you're driving, which is a really good idea, you don't want to ever just look at your phone because those few seconds or even fractions of a second, your attention is diverted from seeing the road in front of. Read a statistic that just having your eyes away from the road and like on a device for 3 seconds, it makes a person 23 times more likely. So not twice as likely or 3 times as likely, but 23 times as likely to have an accident if their attention is taken off the road for 3 seconds. So rates can vary based on real time mileage, driving behavior, and speeding, braking, those kinds of things that we talked about. So yeah, the less miles you drive, is you'll have lower insurance if you have low mileage. Focusing on risk management, that's what insurance companies do. They help to manage people's risk. That's what they do. There is a greater emphasis on risk mitigation and loss prevention. Insurers provide added services like sometimes they'll give like free fire alarms or cybersecurity tools to customers. Some companies help you to be more protected online. Um, they can have like an identity um, protection program. Um, they they are very proactive about safety, and you know we don't really want to have something awful happen. And, we all have families. We all care about our homes and our cars and everything, that we want to keep everything, working and take care of things that we have. Insurance companies can have programs where they help in the community. So I've seen where you can bring a child seat and make sure that it's attached to your car seat properly. They have those tether hooks, those things that you can make sure that the child's car seat is hooked up properly to that, so that if there was an accident, that it would be secure, that the child would be safer if it's installed properly. So it's good to know about different things that you can do to help make your home or workplace, your car safer. So things like having a fire extinguisher in your kitchen, um, having like really well lit areas of your home, like if you have motion sensors that turn a light on with movement, um, and just have lights on during the night so that the shrubs and trees and the house exterior is kind of lit up, so that, to protect hopefully against theft and burglary. It's important to take advantage of discounts that may be offered to you, and to continue to monitor yourself too. Have you been driving recklessly? Have you wondered if you had too much to drink getting behind the wheel of a car? I've seen signs that say drinking and driving, you can't afford it. And that's so true, because it isn't just, the fines or jail, it's lawyers and it's time off of work. It's like you could lose your job. You could find it really hard to get a job with some of these infractions. So it's kind of like, yeah, you can't afford it. The fines and just how much money it costs to deal with um, a DUI, and having more expensive insurance for so many years. Because at this point, you're unfortunately irresponsible. And so it could affect your credit, it could affect your work, it could affect your relationships. And it's very important to try to be cautious and careful. And if you're not sure if you should drive or not, then it's always better to ask a friend for a ride, or call your parent to come and get you, or take an Uber home. It's so much better than getting in an accident and hurting someone else, or hurting yourself, or killing someone. You'd have to live with that the rest of your life. And there's no amount of money that would be able to fix that, that would make you feel better, that could ever bring that person back, that could ever begin to comfort the family and friends of the person who's gone. And so insurance is, it's a tool, and they keep evolving. Insurance companies keep evolving and policies keep evolving. And so you definitely want to make sure that your current coverage fits your life, fits your work, your home, your children's needs, your lifestyle, because things change over time. If you get engaged, then it's really good to let your insurance company know. If you get married, if you buy a new house, if you are going to have a child go off to college in another state. These are all really important updates that insurance companies need to know about so that they can continue to tailor the coverage that you have to actually fit your life. So, just like bundling, you can save money if you have a couple of policies with one company, definitely. And it's really good to know, should I be insuring jewelry or a stamp collection, or is there firearms or something that I really do need to insure? It's good to think about, kind of walk around your home and just say, is this all covered? Because if I have, like, say, $20,000 of coverage in a home, but my belongings cost 40,000 to replace, it's really good to update that. And maybe even go around with your phone and take video of things that, would be difficult to replace. Maybe take pictures of the receipts. And if there's appraisals, if there's any kind of proof, sales receipts that you might have, it's really great to make a note of that, to have it on video or on film, because then you can prove that you had it if something does get stolen or lost. So, want to thank you for listening about these little interesting things that we can think about for insurance. Thank you for spending time with me. And I'll probably do some more little kind of helpful tips and things like that with insurance. And um, I hope that you have a nice evening and take good care of yourself and take good care of your home and your family. And also enjoy your life, though, a little bit. Have a little bit of fun money where you can do something with your friends or with family to just enjoy yourself, because it isn't all cautious and careful, but we can have a little bit of fun too. So, thank you so much. Have a great evening.